Hey, good morning, guys. It's Eric from Namfambam, vlog number 16. I think we all woke up to the same news this morning, whether you heard it from Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or maybe a friend texted you. Um, we lost yet another one to suicide. Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. Thoughts and prayers to his family and his loved ones. It's crazy. He had children, and yeah, I mean, it's funny because we don't know these people personally, but they become a part of our lives. Someone, especially like Anthony Bourdain, who's such a tremendous influence on so many people's lives, and he provided a window to the world, and inspired a sense of adventure, and you know helped cultures come to light, and shared so much of the world with us through his life. And a lot of people always say like he has the best life. He must have the best life. So when something like this happens, whenever anything like this happens, it's mind-boggling. Um, but it also makes you reflect. It actually, it makes me reflect today, especially every time something like this happens. It makes me reflect about my personal experience with it. My sister and I, our personal experience with it. We actually lost two very, very important people in our lives to suicide. Um, First was my grandfather, on my dad's side. He was a tremendous influence in my life until I was 4 years old. That's when he passed. Every memory I have growing up until that time, and I have vivid memories even at that age because he was such a big influence, and such a big presence in my life that I remember him so vividly. I have no memories of my parents because they were working all the time. But yeah, he was such an impact, and he still to this day is an impact on me and kind of inspires me to live like he did. I mean, I'll do a bio on him later on, but he was a tremendous man. But yeah, he actually he took it upon himself when I was age 4. The story I was told in the beginning was that he died in a fishing accident, because every Saturday morning, 5 a.m., he would go out and go fishing, either off the shores of Santa Monica or Malibu, and that was his thing. That was his thing. He loved it. He'd never missed a morning, and one day he just didn't come home, and we were told that he drowned. But the truth is, yes, he drowned, but I guess he took it upon himself to walk out there. Um, and the reason was that as we understand it, I don't think there was a note or he didn't tell anyone. Maybe he talked to our grandma about it, but she passed too, so never had a chance to discuss it. It turns out that he actually was dying of liver cancer, and he was the doctor gave him 2 more weeks beyond that day. So our guess is he just didn't want to burden us, but I'm sure it's a lot more complex than that. But yeah, who knows? Important thing is he lives on in our hearts, my heart. But yeah, I mean it's huge. And the second person we lost was our mother, Grace. Yeah, so she also took it upon herself, and she was in Korea at the time, and we were both stateside. I was in New York, my sister was in LA. So we didn't know exactly what happened. We were told that it was a heart attack. Some people said it was a stroke. It was always unclear. So we were always kind of suspicious that there was a lot more to the story. And even now, we feel like there might be more to the story. But at the same time, for me personally, I don't really ask. I stopped asking a long time ago. Because what difference does it make? But really, yeah, so yeah, we found out years later, maybe a few years ago, what had really happened. We grow as people. We become stronger. We become more mature. We become wiser. But something like that doesn't really leave you. It's a hole that doesn't get filled per se. You just learn to build around that hole. So with Anthony Bourdain, the most recent story. Yeah, I mean my heart goes out to his family, truly. And our prayers for his family and children, because yeah, I mean, I just hope that they get to a point, and it'll take time, but I hope that they get to a point where they learn to build around that hole, and build around it in a positive way. And as the memes and hashtags go, the struggle is real. And it's not a joke. It's a very serious matter. Depression, mental health, they're all diseases. It's a sickness, and we need to figure it out. I'm no expert. I'm no psychotherapist. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know the answer, but one I think common sense step, and this isn't. I'm not. This isn't earth shattering information, but I firmly believe constant reaffirmation of love and communication is the most important thing. I think that is at least it's the first step. Just reaching out to a loved one if you're feeling a little down or if you're going through something, reach out to a loved one or a stranger. I don't know. Whatever you feel comfortable with if you're going through something, just reach out. Or if you know somebody that might be going through something, reach out to them and open the door. This morning, Sarah and I, we talked about it before we went about our day. We promised each other, or we reaffirmed, that we would always be open with each other. We'd always share anything we might be personally going through, because even though you live in one house, we all have our own personal experiences and perspectives on things, and to continue to stay open, not just with each other, but with our children as well, is so vital. And just constant talking and understanding, and also just reading between the lines as well. Sometimes that's where the real information is, and sometimes it's the intuition, and all of that is cradled by compassion and love. And I think it's easier said than done for people. I know it's something you build towards, but if we constantly go in that direction, I think there might be an answer to it. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert, but yeah, I mean, and ironically, we live in an age where communication has never been easier. It's literally at our fingertips with social media, with this kind of stuff, with the vlogs and the Twitters and the texting and the messaging and all the different kinds of apps out there, WhatsApp, whatever it may be. Yet we seem to be pulling further and further away from actual communication. And human interaction. So, yeah, I mean, I encourage everyone to just call someone today. Maybe that's where to call someone today and tell them you love them. Tell them you're there. Maybe that's one step. Again, I don't know what the answer is, but that's just an idea I wanted to share. Hug someone. Tell them you love them. Tell them you're there. Yeah, it sounds cheesy, but it's just so important. So important. But yeah, again, thoughts and prayers to Anthony Bourdain's family. And Mr. Bourdain, thank you for everything you've given us. You've provided so much. You made the world bigger for a lot of people, so thank you for that. I never got to know you personally. I know you came to train at our gym. I've seen photos of it. I wasn't there, but that's another common thing that many people shared with you. Not just your love of food and travel, but also jiu-jitsu and health. And yeah, it's a huge loss for the world, I think. So rest in peace, sir. And yeah, again, thoughts and prayers to the family. All right, have a great weekend, guys. I will see you soon. Bye.